Dirty jokes. There was a little boy and a little girl in a bathtub having a bath. Suddenly, the little girl looked down at the boy. Can I touch it? No way, you already broke yours off. Chuck Norris jokes. Chuck Norris once visited the Virgin Islands. They are now the islands. Chuck Norris jokes. Chuck Norris is the only man who can put M&Ms in alphabetical order. Chuck Norris jokes. Chuck Norris frequently donates blood to the Red Cross. Just never his own. Chuck Norris jokes. Chuck Norris met an exclamation point and punched it in the face. We now have questions. Chuck Norris jokes. Chuck Norris always has S*X on the bottom. Because he never F*CKs up. Marriage jokes. The most effective way to remember your wife's birthday is to forget it once. Military jokes. You've all heard of the Air Force's ultra-high security, super-secret base in Nevada, known simply as Area 51. Well, late one afternoon, the Air Force folks out at Area 51 were very surprised to see a Cessna landing at their secret base. They immediately impounded the aircraft and hauled the pilot into an interrogation room. The pilot's story was that he took off from Vegas, got lost, and spotted the base just as he was about to run out of fuel. The Air Force started a full FBI background check on the pilot and held him overnight during the investigation. By the next day, they were finally convinced that the pilot really was lost and wasn't a spy. They gassed up his airplane, gave him a terrifying "you did not see a base" briefing, complete with threats of spending the rest of his life in prison, told him Vegas was that way on such and such a heading, and sent him on his way. The day after that though, to the total disbelief of the Air Force, the same Cessna showed up again. Once again, the MPs surrounded the plane. Only this time there were two people in the plane. The same pilot jumped out and said, "Do anything you want to me, but my wife is in the plane and you have to tell her where I was last night." Jokes about men. One day a man was walking along the beach and found a bottle. He looked around and didn't see anyone, so he opened it. A genie appeared and thanked the man for letting him out. The genie said, "For your kindness I will grant you a wish, but only one." The man thought for a minute and said, "I have always wanted to visit Hawaii but have never been able to because I'm afraid of flying and ships make me seasick. So I wish for a road to be built from here to Hawaii." The genie thought for a minute and said, "No, I don't think I can do that. Just think of all the work involved, the pilings needed to hold up the highway, how deep they would have to be to reach the bottom of the ocean. Think of all the pavement that would be needed. No, that is just too much to ask." The man thought for a minute and then told the genie, "Well, there is one other thing that I have always wanted. I would like to be able to understand my girlfriend. What makes her laugh and cry? Why is she temperamental? Why is she so difficult to get along with? Basically, what makes her tick?" The genie considered for a few minutes and said, "So, do you want 2 lanes or 4? Jokes about life. A young lad went to a tailor shop in Scotland. He told the tailor, "I'd like yet to make me a kilt with this material here, and if ya don't mind, I'd like yet to make me a pair of matching underwear for it. I hear it gets a mite drafty up dem tings." A few days later, the tailor called the lad back to the shop. "Here's ya kilt, and here's ya matching underwear, and here's 5 yards of material left over. Take it home and keep it in case you want anything else made of it." The lad rushed home and donned his kilt. He decided to run to his girlfriend's house to show off his new purchase. Unfortunately, in his excitement, he forgot to wear his underwear. When his girlfriend answered the door, he pointed to his kilt and said, "Well, what did ya think? Ah, but that's a fine-looking kilt," she exclaimed. And if ya like it, why I'll really like. What's underneath," he bragged as he lifted his kilt. "Oh, but that's a dandy!" his girlfriend shouted admiringly. Still not realizing that he didn't have his underwear on, he exclaimed quite proudly, and if ya like it, I've got 5 more yards of it at home."